Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and joining me on the podcast today is my good friend, the legal Lothario, Derek Kaufman.
Man, coming in, just swooping in here, getting ready for the World Series in this city. Happy to sit with you, man.
Thank you very much, man. We got some salivating stories today. Beautiful stories.
Biggies. This first one is a shocker.
Well, are you talking about Justin Bieber or are you talking about Nicole Kidman?
Well, the second one's a shocker in a different way, but
Justin Bieber, he's considering legal action against his business managers. So I don't know who he's specifically referring to, but could be Scooter. He wants to maybe take them to the court because they were spending all of his money.
yeah, this is a huge deal. We'll have to see how this develops.
Nicole Kidman, on the other hand, she's saying that she had too many orgasms in her new film that she didn't want her male co-stars to touch her anymore.
Just let me enjoy that for a little minute, then we'll get back to it. I
Three,
love that. Nicole Kidman.
1, and we've enjoyed it.
Legend.
And finally, we'll talk about Kim Kardashian because she hosted a Wicked screening party for the movie, and Ariana Grande showed up. So Pete Davidson's exes combined.
Yeah, the Eskimo sisters out there having a little viewing party. We got to talk about that.
Leave your comments during the show. We will pick a few at the end, and we'll talk about them, and we'll probably, debate each other.
We're going to get into it. There's lots of wrinkles with these stories.
To begin with, Justin Bieber, he is currently considering legal action against his business managers because he claims that he's lost a ton of money as a result of their terrible decisions. He's not, specifying who or what they wasted the money on, but he's debating right now if he should press legal action to try to recoup some of that money.
This is wild. It sounds like he looked at his books for the first time in a long while, and he was shocked to see what he saw, that he's not quite as rich as he maybe expected he was, or the money has flowed out in certain ways that he wasn't mindful of, or what have you. This is a serious allegation. He's got a lot of fancy business managers. We know some of them by name. He's not naming names here, so I don't want to speculate as to who he's even making these allegations against. If he takes legal action, he'll put some names in lawsuits. That's how you have to sue people.
I'd like to speculate.
Go ahead. I'm going to rein you in.
Well, because everybody likes to dump on this guy, Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
The Taylor Swift villain.
When you hear Justin Bieber manager, that's where the mind goes. But he's certainly not saying that at this point.
He's not saying that at this point, but that's the only music manager I know.
And they had a little rift recently, right? Where he used to represent him. Scooter lost some clients along the way. He used to represent Ariana Grande. Now he no longer represents them. So he has taken a different business path. He has a huge tie-in with Korean pop stars now. He's working with Hybe and those guys. So he is still making bands. We'll have to see if that's where the allegation goes. It hasn't gone there yet. Here's what's interesting to me. Justin Bieber sold his catalog back in January 2023 for $200 million. So you would think he's just flush in cash. When you get 9 figures of wealth with one transaction, everyone thinks you're set for life. And I'm sure Justin Bieber thought that. And some people are pushing back and saying, yeah, he thought he sold this catalog and he just started spending money like water. And
did he?
Yes, there's some pushback that Justin has been doing the spending himself into ruin, and that when your handlers just say, okay, you want to buy this, they can't say no, it's his money. You can advise him.
And now his wallet's bare, and he's like, where can I get some more money, and looking to the past?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it looks like he's doing more sort of features on stage. Maybe he's trying to sort of get back into music, maybe financially, for financial reasons. I don't know. I put him in the category of too big to fail. In my mind, I thought of him like a Madonna or people who have so much wealth that even if they spend lavishly, they're so famous, there's always a source of income that there's no way for them to ever go broke. I put him in that category. I still do. But it's still shocking. I mean, back in the day, Mike Tyson, I used to think of that way. He was the biggest star boxer, and he went into financial ruin. It looked like the guy would have so much wealth he couldn't do that. Just goes to show you, inflation's crazy, man. I'm telling you, 9 figures isn't what it used to be. You can really spend it.
Inflation. Very true. I mean, Justin Bieber obviously just had a baby. So, that costs a bit of money.
I think the baby's going to have diapers. It'll be all right.
But, he's also reportedly going through, these mental struggles, you know? It must not be fun to be linked to the Diddy scandal, even if you're not weren't involved, but just to be linked because of all the videos of them hanging out in the past. That's got to take its mental toll. I feel like this guy's probably bit struggling right now in various facets of his life?
I think that's right. There's the headlines aren't good, right? He's got the I hate my business managers and I have these old videos of me chumming it up with Diddy. So things are not good right now. He is getting back on stage, and I think a lot of people are excited about that. Justin Bieber, I think of as a huge talent, and he's been gone for a while. Kind of like Rihanna, who went off and became a billionaire with her, fashion line.
But that's different, I think, because I think Rihanna, that's almost like a choice because she was just following her heart. Whereas I think Bieber struggles so much with fame and just the spotlight that he might like to perform, but he's just not up to it. But and so reportedly, Hailey Bieber was the one that said, "Go on, man, go up on stage and perform and get back to it." I don't know.
Let me ask you: you think in 5 years from now he has a nice soft landing, Hailey and him correct everything, and they'll be rich and lovely?
Oh, totally. I love Bieber. I agree. I think he's an icon. I think he's always going to be okay. And to a certain degree, I worry about his mental health and that sort of stuff because he was a child star who, has had his demons over the years. And I, hope he doesn't fall prey to,
It's a good point. The last point I would make is fame and mega wealth came to him very young, right? So, people who are that young can often be taken advantage of. I don't want to dismiss what he's saying. Maybe he was a victim of financial fraud. I'm not sure at this point. He's just sort of sounds like still investigating what went on. But it's sad because there's no happy endings with these child stars often.
Okay, on to our next story. Talking about happy endings.
Let's switch gears, yeah.
Nicole Kidman, she opened up about her new erotic movie. It's called Babygirl.
Yeah.
And so she's obviously doing press for this movie. And she talked about how she had to pause during the sex scenes because she wanted to stop having orgasms. She said during the sex scenes with, there's two lovers in this movie. One of them is played by Antonio Banderas.
One of the hottest men of yesteryear and still a nice-looking older man.
And the other is a younger guy, in his 20s. His name is Harris Dickinson.
Do you know Harris Dickinson?
I mean, I know him from watching the trailer now.
Yes, he is something else. He is the new big heartthrob. He was in a movie called Triangle of Sadness, and he played one half of the hot couple. Did you see that movie? Anyway, he's in a bunch of films. He's the new it guy. He's very, very attractive, and he's younger. And so there's a little bit of May, December, which has been all the sort of rage these days with older women. And
cougar movies like, Liam Hemsworth, Laura Dern, Anne Hathaway's in it, where she plays the cougar.
The movie's modeled on Basic Instinct, by the way.
Yes.
It is modeled. So that gives you an indication. That put Sharon Stone on the map with the leg cross heard around the world or seen around the world, whatever you want to say. This guy's so hot. It's all steamy lovemaking, apparently. And what she said was the orgasms got exhausting. She had to be in a state of such sexual
she said
happiness.
She said the orgasm when she was shooting the sex scenes was so present all the time that she got burnt out. She said that during the sex scenes she had with both men, Kidman said that there was a lot of sharing and trust and then frustration. And then she had to order the guys, please don't touch me right now. Please, I don't want to, because she admitted she didn't want to orgasm anymore.
Here's what I'm wondering. So she's a tremendous actress. I've always loved Nicole Kidman. I think she's underrated because she's also a beauty, but she's a great actress.
She's underrated. She is very rated.
You think she's rated perfectly?
I think she's rated, yeah.
So my question is she saying that she was having lots of orgasms or that it was exhausting to fake authentic orgasms so much in the movie? It was unclear to me whether she said, I don't want to orgasm anymore, which makes it sound like she was just having sexual outbursts during the filming.
Yeah.
Right? I could imagine that being a little off-putting if you're working around her.
I could imagine it being a very good movie. I'd like to go and see, though. But yeah, I mean...
Christmas, man. Let's get our tickets.
Me and you go to see the orgasm movie. We'll sit in the back row. But yeah, I mean, my thought is, how does Keith Urban feel hearing this? I mean, I know your wife's an actress, so you got to that's your job. But just to hear that she was either constantly orgasming or nearly orgasming constantly, I was like, you're my wife. I mean, I want to be the one to turn you on. I know Antonio Banderas, hot guy, this young guy, hot guy, but do I really want to hear about this?
You're right. And if he's on set, is he looking at everyone while he's hearing this and saying that's not how it sounds? Or is that how it really sounds because he's never sort of heard that sound? It's not a good situation.
I've never seen that look on your face.
All of a sudden Keith is like, I don't know. I've never had that reaction.
Right.
And then she comes off and she's like, it's just acting. And then Harris Dickinson's like, yeah, just acting. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
you know, like
totally.
It's a very uncomfortable situation.
I'd feel insecure. If I was Keith.
I'm not even there, and I feel bad for Keith, man.
But why are we so obsessed with these like cougar movies now? There's maybe 3 or 4 coming out like in the next couple months. Why are we? I mean, we've always been obsessed with older women, younger.
Yes,
it's like that
Mary Kay Letourneau movie,
Mrs. Robinson. Is that a thing?
Mrs. Robinson back in the day. I think there's a lot of intrigue of an older woman who can show a young buck a thing or two,
teach you a few things.
Ever since The Graduate with Mrs. Robinson and The Leg and the whole thing, it's an object of fascination. We also are at an age where we have a ton of like really beautiful older actresses who are very, very talented. Natalie Portman did one of these movies, Nicole Kidman. And I think they're attracted to these parts. I think they're just like, this is a part I get. This is meaty. I want to get with Harris Dickinson.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that sometimes you might choose a role because you kind of want to experience that, and you know it's not like cheating?
Yeah,
it's my job, and so you pick that role. You know, I think
she gets up in the morning. Keith, I got to go to work. I don't know what to tell you. Harris is waiting in his trailer.
Right,
we have to run lines.
Right. All right, let's get on with our next story, I suppose. Yeah. That was a good one. Kim Kardashian, she hosted a Wicked screening pajama party with Ariana Grande. So the Wicked movie coming out soon. It's just like everywhere. I can't go anywhere without seeing posters or merchandise or anything like that. And Kim is getting in on the act. She hosted this pajama party with all her sisters and their kids. And Ariana Grande was there.
And Cynthia Erivo. They had the 2 witches from Wicked hanging out at a pajama party. Can I tell you, of all the things about her fabulous life, when I see these pajama party movie screenings, they bother me the most. Because that's when I'm most jealous of her.
You like movies.
I love movies. I love the idea of having a theater in your home and they all get in cozy PJs and they got the stars of the movie hanging out with your kids. Your kids would go wild. What a cool mom move.
You're not jealous when she goes to the white party and hangs out with all those celebrities and that sort of stuff?
I don't want any part of the white parties. Those all seem to bend towards freak.
True.
I want to keep my distance.
Very true. Well, I mean, it's interesting.
What's the interesting dynamic here, though? So explain why Ariana Grande being at Kim's house is interesting.
Well, Ariana Grande famously engaged to Pete Davidson. Kim Kardashian famously dated him for like nearly a year, like a long time. They were kind of in love, and people were saying, are they going to get engaged?
And it was one of the only times she talked openly about sex. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
She talked about being by the fireplace. I'll never forget it. And Pete just ravaging her. And I was just like amazed that she was that open about it because she's not private, I wouldn't say, but she doesn't like talk openly about sex often. But when she was dating Pete, she was just like, yep. It's all true.
Do you think that Ariana and Kim gave each other a little wink and a nod, you know?
I wonder, is there awkwardness or is there just sort of like, remember those days? Just is it reminiscing while the kids are watching a children's movie? They're just like in the back?
Totally. I think they go winking, you know. That was good, wasn't it? That was good. Something about the side.
The good old days. He was a little crazy, but wow. What a guy.
But yeah, I mean, my thought is, where is this Ethan Slater guy? We heard all about this SpongeBob SquarePants who then, you know, Ariana Grande was a homewrecker for him. He was kind of a homewrecker for Ariana Grande.
Yep.
And now when the movie is here to be publicized.
He's in the movie too.
He's in the movie. That's how they met. Why aren't we seeing wall-to-wall romance with her and SpongeBob? I don't get it.
I wonder if the studio's like, this isn't like a great romance to promote this movie. Maybe there's a sense that we find the SpongeBob Ariana relationship kind of funny, but I wonder if they're like, this isn't how we want to position our movie. Everyone is kind of mocking their relationship a little bit. He also had a divorce.
Relationships like this, we always do, like with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Are they or aren't they? Like when we think that the stars of a movie are in love, we're more inclined to watch it, I think. And so why aren't we seeing, you know, Ethan out there, you know, making out with Ariana Grande at clubs?
I think that's right. Although I confess, is she plays Glinda the Good Witch. Does he play the love interest of Glinda the Good Witch or just some sort of like Munchkin or something?
Munchkin. He plays a Munchkin.
So they don't. So in the movie, they're not going to be in love. Whereas Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney, they were pushing a romantic comedy. So it's like, oh, cool. They actually did fall in love. Here, it's like going to be a little odd if she's kissing a Munchkin and then you look on screen and they're just like.
Well, then she needs to go and find Jeff Goldblum because he plays Oz. I think the wizard and the witch could get together. That would be...
Yeah, Ethan Slater, you're going to have to be mature about this. She's going to have to be on the arm of Jeff Goldblum.
All right, let's read out some of your comments now. People are surprised that Justin Bieber could be broke right now, given all the money he's had. But Veda Parker says that Justin Bieber just wants to get on with his life now and put that behind him.
I don't know. It sounds like it's a real problem. He wants to put a lawsuit in front of him. I don't think he's broke necessarily. I think there's a difference between saying people have been stealing my money and I have no money. I just want to be clear that even if he's been spending a lot, he had a lot of money. Just the interest on 9 figures of wealth is a lot of money. So I'm not sure he's broke. I just think he's pissed.
A TMZ Podcast fan who just goes by the letter L says 200 million to us isn't the same to them. Living that kind of life, you could move through money really fast. Well, yeah, I know. I guess you could because you got bills to pay at that mansion and like groundskeepers and, PR agents giving 12% to. And that sort of lifestyle costs more money as well.
I remember hearing that Magic Johnson, that yacht he rents is like $1 million a week. You know what I mean? So you can imagine that's less than a year of yacht.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like 2/3 of a year.
Melanie says that I wish I had the same problem Nicole Kidman has. Wow. I mean, so she's not getting any. I guess that's it. She's not getting any.
You had to really get into that one. Yeah.
Blizz Red says she should keep it to herself because that's insane. I agree, it's kind of insane, but
listen, she can't keep it to herself. This is on film.
It's on film. We can see it with our own eyes. If we go and buy tickets now, like this is great publicity.
I just had an epiphany. So are they so realistic that the movie hasn't come out yet and been screened by Keith Urban that she sort of wants to get out in front of like, oh no, that would work against her. She's like, those are real orgasms. I don't know what it is, why she is making this announcement, because if she came out and said, I'm a really good actress, I had to fake a lot of orgasms, and then you see the movie and it's like, those look real, kid. Those look real. Like she wants to get out ahead of it for Keith.
I wonder if Keith is going to go to the premiere and sit beside her and watch it. He
put an uncomfortable moment on the red carpet.
Finally, Monkey Man asks, why do you say Rihanna like that?
Oh, I believe that's the correct way to say Rihanna.
I believe it is too.
I had to train myself because my mouth wants to say Rihanna. Like that's what sounds natural to me, but I've been scolded many times and told her name is Rihanna. So that's why I say it that way.
My mouth wants to kiss Rihanna.
Oh, man.
Nah, just joking. Got a wife, kids. Just joking. But yeah, I mean,
what's a little peck, though?
What's a little peck? Rihanna. It's the same as like Kamala. It's Rihanna. It is Rihanna.
It does.
And it is
Rihanna.
Kamala.
Yes.
I hear. Okay,
Although
Derek.
Donald Trump is unwilling to say it that way.
That's right. Thank you, Derek, mate. Appreciate you.
Always fun.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.